So the first one we're going to do tonight is the Building Act 1993. I've got my Building Act tabs, custom tabs. There's only one page of them. You will notice that there are some set up for going across the top of the book, which we're going to do first. And then we're going to do our others, our side tabs. Now, what we will do, and as I've just mentioned, we will be referring to sections of the book. So as we go through, I'll be talking about sections and regulations, not page numbers. So we just need to be aware. I will try and give you a guide of roughly where to find it, but it will be as of page section numbers and regulation numbers, not page numbers tonight. So the first thing I'm going to do, because we've got these stickers, one which is the building hierarchy, the building in Victoria, and the other one is the purpose of the Building Act. I'm going to stick these on the inside cover of this book. That's the first thing I'm going to do, and I have gone through and split up all the other documents, these stickers, and just distribute them through the legislation books. So I'm just putting in my building hierarchy pyramid in the document first. I'll also do my purpose of the Building Act. So just get both these stickers in. This is the first thing I'm going to do on each of these books where I've got a sticker. Get that in, and then we'll start doing the tabs across the top in this particular case, and then the tabs on the side. Now, as I've said earlier, I have actually made it so everyone can turn their mics on and ask a question if you need to as we go through. But in general, hopefully I can let you know where to be looking. As I said, we will be kicking off with section numbers and regulation numbers depending on which book we're looking in. So it will take a little bit just to get used to, but once we've got that up and going, we should be all good. Okay. So the first sticker I'm going to put, or tab I'm going to be putting across the top, is the one marked as the duration of order. So I'm going to start that up in this top corner. Going to work these ones across the top, and then once I've done these, then I'm going to start working my way up the side. So duration of order in this particular book, in the Building Act 1993, is section 117. So need to find section 117. You can actually see they're all, here we are, duration of order. Section 117. In this particular book, I'm in 160, 161. So my original book, which is a little bit older, is around page 157. To give you an idea that there will be a few pages out. So you need to find section 117. And then on the opposite page, I'm going to stick in my duration of order. Obviously, we've got the stickers on the back, and we've got the little line marked on them, so you know to line it up. So that's my first tab in, is duration of order, up the top corner, like so, to do with section 117. That is our duration of order. After we've got duration of order in, which is section 117, we've got our building order is the next tab we're going to put in. And our building order tab that I always use is just a couple of page, just a page in or so, and it is section 112, which is the one I'm going to be using, section 112, which is building order to stop building works, is the one that I usually use. So that at the top, I will be putting in my tab for building order to do with section 112. I'm just going to line it up so it is sitting next to that duration of order that I've just put in, like so. All to do with section 112. So that takes care of our building order. The next one, after section 112, we've got our building notice. And our building notice is going to be working to section 106. 106. So 106, building notice. So this is where I'll be putting my tab for a building notice in this particular book.
Hey, Trevor.
Yes, mate.
Could you, by reference, just give us the rough location of the page number as we go, if you don't mind? I know each book's slightly different, but it makes it easier for me to flip through.
I'll just read out the page that I find in this particular book I'm working on.
Yep.
So that's 153 for this particular one.
Thank you.
So that is our building notice. After our building notice, we're going to put in, we've got a protection works tab, which is the next one. Protection works tab, which I'm going to be putting in around section 84. So section 84. 83s, a lot of 83s. Still. Section 84, which is going to be on page 139 in this particular case. So that is where our protection works tab is going in. Section 84, and that in this particular book was page 139. After that, we're going to do our next tab, which is Objectives of the Act. Objectives of the Act is our next tab, and that is going to be to do with section 4 of the Act. Now, just to find it. Section 4 is page 27. Section 4 is page 27 in this particular book. Just lining it up across the top there. So that is 27 for page, for section 4. After section 4, we've got our definitions, which is just at the front of section 4. So our definitions is our next tab, and that is section 3, definitions, which is going to be going on page 3. Definitions on page 3. In this particular one. And the final one for across the top, which will be our purpose, which should be just over at the page on page 1, is purpose. That quickly takes care of our tabs across the top on our Building Act. So that is across the top of my Building Act. So all taken care of there. Okay, now we're going to move on to these side tabs. Plumbing certificate will be the first one, which I'm going to set up down the bottom corner. Now this is section 221ZH. So let me jump in and find that. ZDs, ZFs. Okay, 22.1ZH in this particular book is page 424. And that is where I'm going to be putting my plumbing certificate down this bottom corner. So that's going to be on bottom of page 425 for me. So I'm just going to line up with the bottom corner like so. Got my lines and so forth there as well. And that is where I'm putting my plumbing certificate. Plumbing certificate all the way down there on page, in this particular case, 425, but it's all to do with 22.1ZH. So after that the plumbing certificates, we've got our registration tab. Registration tab is the next one we're going to be doing, and that is to do with section 171. So 171, so it's a bit of a way in. Just move my way in. Just go to 171 straight. Okay, 171, which is in this particular book 234. Page 235 is where I'll be putting the tab. So I'll be just lining this up. So it's one up from the bottom, like so, and that is where my registration certificate tab goes. Okay, so we've got a couple of tabs in. They line up pretty well. So after this, we're going to do requiring insurance. So requiring insurance is going to be around section 136. So 136. So 136 is on page 171. So that is where I'm putting my insurance required ticket in. All right, required insurance is in. After our required insurance, we have one called limitations of actions. Limitations of actions all has to do with section 134. So 134, just roll back in. Section 134 is on page 167. So that is where I'm putting my limitation of actions, which is talking about our 10 years. So limitation of action. There on that particular one, which is on page 167 in this particular case. After limitation of actions, we're going to put in our termination of building surveyor. Termination of building surveyor is going to all have to do with section 181. Sorry, 81. Section 81. Section 81, termination of appointment, page 121. That's where I'm putting the tab in this particular book. So that's termination of building surveyor. After our termination of building surveyor, we're going to put in our function of a building surveyor, which is going to be section 76. So section 76. And section 76 is going to be on page 109. Functions of a building surveyor is on page 109. In this particular case, which is all to do with section 76. So functions of a building surveyor, section 76. After our functions of a building surveyor, we're doing our occupancy permit tab. Our occupancy permit tab is to do with section 39. So section 39. Late 39, so page 95 for this particular one on occupancy permits is on page 95, and then over the, which is section 39, and then over the page on section 38, which in this particular case is going to be on page 93, is where I'm putting in my certificate of final inspection. Certificate of final inspection is going in here on section 38. Okay, after section 38, we're going to do 37D, which is building, it's regarding building directions. 37D, which is page 87, which is talking about the 7 days to respond to the direction, unless anything else is notified. So page 87 or section 37D is for building direction. After our building direction, we've got notification to building surveyor. This tab is going to be all about section 33, which is on page 83. Is where I'm putting this one in, which is our notification to building surveyor, page 83, section 33. After section 33, we've got our application for a demolition permit, which is going to be 29A. It's the section 29A. So 29A, page 77. In this particular case, is where our application for a demo permit goes, page 77. And then we have one tab left, which is building without a permit, which is going to be section 16. Section 16. So section 16, where that is, there's 19, 17, section 16, offence to be building without a permit, page 39. And that will be the final tab out of that Building Act sheet. And with that one in, that's our Building Act completed.